Hi everyone, I'm Aurora from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you how to crochet a checkered scarf. The design is simple and timeless, classic and elegant, made with soft, skin-friendly yarn that keeps you warm. Crocheted with chunky yarn, using a simple technique, you can finish the product in a short time. If you want to buy the original kit and get crocheting guidance, search for the store, susodiy.com. Now let's get to the main topic. This scarf uses the method of starting knit stitches while crocheting. Work back and forth upward. During the crocheting process, please pay attention. The pattern chart shows what you see from the right side. Row 1 is considered the right side of the whole piece. So when actually crocheting on the wrong side, you need to work the opposite stitches of the chart. If you want to make a cowl, sew both ends together at the end. The stitches used include knit stitches, to keep the chart from looking too crowded. Empty squares also represent knit stitches. Other stitches used include purl and slip stitches. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, cast on. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I'm using cotton yarn for this demonstration. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Leave the yarn tail a bit longer. It's convenient for weaving in the ends later. Pick up the straight needle with your left hand. Insert into the loop. Gently tighten. This is the first stitch. This stitch is a knit stitch. Hold the other straight needle in your right hand with a pencil grip. Then wrap the yarn tail around your right pinky finger once. Gently pinch the yarn with your ring finger and middle finger. Place this yarn between your index finger and middle finger. This is the proper posture for knitting. Next, place the right needle above the yarn. Insert downwards into the loop on the left needle. Use your right index finger to guide the yarn. Yarn over to pull the yarn through. Place it onto the left needle. Don't pull the yarn too tight, otherwise it will be difficult to pick up stitches later. This is the second stitch. Continue casting on. Place the right needle above the yarn. Insert into the middle of these two stitches. Insert downwards. Yarn over. Pull through. Place it onto the left needle. This is the third stitch. Note, don't pull the yarn too tight, slightly loose is okay. Continue casting on. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Place it onto the left needle. This is the fourth stitch. Let's take a look. Each time you insert the hook is between two loops. Continue knitting while casting on. Please refer to the chart for the specific number of stitches. 5 stitches. 6 stitches. Look at this. This is what it looks like after casting on is complete. Now knit the first row. This row shows vertical knit symbols, indicating all knit stitches. Start with the first knit stitch. Place the right needle above the yarn. Then insert downwards into the first loop. Note that you're inserting into the loop here, not the position between two loops. Yarn over and pull through the loop. Release the loop from the left needle at the same time. One knit stitch is complete. Knit another stitch. Insert the right needle into the loop. Yarn over and pull through. Another knit stitch is complete. Knit one more stitch. After completing, take a look. The texture below forms a braid-like pattern. Continue knitting stitches. Keep knitting until this row is finished. Once done, the first row is complete. Now knit the second row. According to the chart, this row starts from left to right, because the chart shows the texture on the right side of the piece. In reality, you need to work the opposite stitch technique. Turn the work over. First, slip the first stitch. Here, it forms a tile unit purl texture. Slip the stitch without knitting it in purl style. Place the needle below the yarn. Pick up the first stitch from underneath. One slip stitch is done. Gently tighten the tail after finishing the slip stitch. Note, starting from the second row, the first stitch of each row should be slipped without knitting. The second stitch shows a knit symbol. Here you need to work the opposite stitch technique, which means one purl stitch. The yarn is above the right needle. Insert from the bottom up into the loop on the left needle. Yarn over and pull through. Release the loop on the left needle. One purl stitch is done. Continue purling. Note, when purling, the yarn is above the right needle. Insert from the bottom up into the loop. Yarn over and pull through. One purl stitch is done. Continue working purl stitches evenly. Finish this row. This completes the second row. Now we'll work on the third row. Turn the work over. The first stitch is a slip stitch. Look at the V-shaped loops below, which show the knit texture. Slip the first stitch purlwise without working it. Place the needle above the yarn. Pick up the first stitch from top to bottom. One slip stitch is done. Gently tighten the tail. Next, work one purl stitch. Pay attention to wrapping the yarn over the right needle. Continue with one knit stitch. Wrap the yarn underneath the needle. Make sure to wrap the yarn underneath, otherwise, you'll end up with extra stitches. Then work 2 purl stitches and 1 knit stitch. When alternating between knit and purl stitches, always remember to yarn over. After finishing, take a look. Consider the 2 purl stitches and 1 knit stitch as a group. Repeat this group. Keep knitting until the end of the row. Once completed, the third row is done. Take a look. This side is the right side of the piece. The yarn tail is on the left side. Continue with the fourth row. After turning the work, work 1 slip stitch. Then follow the texture pattern. The left side shows the V shape formed by the knit stitch texture. Knit. After finishing, it forms a tile-shaped purl stitch texture. Purl. Continue following the texture. Keep knitting until 1 stitch remains. Once completed, the left side shows the purl symbol. Knit 1 stitch. This completes the fourth row. Consider rows 1-4 as a pattern repeat. This is repeating 1 pattern set. Check the pattern repeat. except for the first stitch, which needs to be slipped. Even-numbered rows always follow the texture of the previous row. Pay attention to the last stitch of the fourth row. It needs to be knitted. After finishing the first row with a slip stitch, all stitches are knit. The third row starts with one slip stitch, one purl stitch and one knit stitch. Then follow a group of 2 purl stitches and 1 knit stitch. Repeat this method to finish the row. Then follow this 4-row pattern. Repeat. Continue until reaching the length specified in the chart, or adjust according to your preference. I won't demonstrate further here. Now I'll use this swatch to teach you a way to count rows. Turn to the right side of the piece. Using knit stitch texture as an example. 1 braid represents 1 row. Count how many braids are in this column. It shows how many rows you've knitted. Let's count them. 2. Total of 4 braids, meaning 4 rows have been knitted. Note that the cast on doesn't count as a row. Loops on the needle don't count as a row either. During crocheting process you'll need to join yarn. Now I'll demonstrate the joining yarn method. Leave both yarn tails about 6 centimeters long. Make a simple knot. Pull tight. Then continue crocheting according to the chart. Note that the yarn tails should stay on the wrong side of the piece. When you reach the end of the piece, weave in the yarn tails following the fabric texture. Continue knitting downward. Remember not to use up all the yarn. Leave a long tail for finishing off. If you're making a scarf, leave a longer tail for sewing at the end. Look, this is a small sample that's already been knitted for a section. Next, I'll continue using this sample to demonstrate the slip stitch bind off method. First, knit 2 stitches following the texture. Everyone should follow along with their actual project. The first stitch also needs to be knitted. After completing, insert the left needle into the right side of a stitch on the right needle. Cover the second loop and slip it off the right needle. That's 1 stitch bound off. Continue knitting 1 stitch following the texture. Then insert the left needle into the first loop. Cover the second loop and slip it off the right needle. That's another stitch bound off. Now repeat this process for the loops on the left needle. Bind off all the stitches. Remember to follow the texture pattern when binding off. Now only 1 loop remains. Pull a large loop and remove it from the needle. Leave a long yarn tail and cut the yarn. Then thread the yarn tail through this loop and pull tight. That completes the finishing. Thread the yarn tail onto a darning needle. Here I'll demonstrate the method for securing yarn tails on a scarf. Weave it through the wrong side of the fabric following the texture. You can weave in several more stitches, then trim any excess yarn tails. The starting tail. and joining yarn tails should be secured the same way. I won't demonstrate those. That's how you finish the yarn tails on a scarf. Now let's demonstrate how to sew the neck warmer. After binding off, thread the yarn tail onto a darning needle. Align the right sides of the fabric together. Make sure the fabric isn't twisted. Check the position of the starting chain. Each stitch corresponds to these two strands. The bind-off edge forms a chain-like shape. Insert the needle from front to back through the corresponding starting chain, and bind off on the left side. Pull tight. That completes one stitch of sewing. Continue inserting into the adjacent starting chain and bind off. All sewing lines should be on top. Pull tight the yarn tail to complete another stitch. When sewing, make sure the textures of both edges are aligned. Now repeat this process, using the front to back threading method. Sew the pieces together correspondingly. After finishing, weave in the ends and cut the yarn. You can weave in a few more stitches. That completes the sewing of the neck warmer. After weaving in the yarn tails for the starting chain and joining yarn, turn to the right side. Up to this point, the entire scarf demonstration is complete. If you have any unclear points during the crocheting process, contact our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.